on to a second story. This particular one is one that has touched many in different aspects. Now, somewhere on the 12th of October, that was a Saturday, around the East Legon area, there was a gory accident that happened. Now, according to some footages that have been going around on social media, we could see one Acura at the junction of the Mensa Wood area. And then we see another car with a top speed just come from the back, hit the car, and both of them, you know, set ablaze, burnt beyond recognition. Unfortunately, 2 lives were lost in this tragic accident. We saw videos of the fire service, you know, trying to cut the car and take out the bodies. Unfortunately, we can't really show all of those footages on television. You can see some in the background blurred because definitely viewers' discretion is advised. But let's talk about it. First of all, when I saw these things on social media, I tried my possible best to get to the bottom of it. You know, I was looking for videos. I was trying to get the actual story, what was happening. You know, how did this even happen? What is going on? Because it was a lot to take in for me. Even the people, I didn't even just want to believe. Initially, some people said 3 people, some people said 4 people. You know, and finally we saw that according to the Ghana Police Service, the statement that they released, it was 2 people that were lost, both 12 years old. I'm sure you saw the video, especially how it happened.
Yes.
What was your reaction? I want your reaction to that particular video because for me, I had like goosebumps. You know, I watched it like, I think like 10 times. You know, I was trying to step on the brake for the guy at a point. What was your reaction?
I was showing the video to Black Rasta, and he watched the thing on my phone for like 3 times and couldn't see the car, you know, rush into the other one.
It was
I said, I can't say anything. I said, no, see, you know, so the thing was so weird to me. I was like, how possible?
Yeah.
This is a busy stretch.
Very busy.
And as a driver, you know that you are heading towards a junction. You need to slow down. And again, you see, seriously, driving is a profession.
Yeah.
Driving is an art, and at the same time, is a science.
Yeah.
So you always need to make sure that you put the 2 together.
The calculations are right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is why, you know, it's a form of communication. So whilst you are driving, you get to a point, you see a sign that will tell you that there's a speed ramp, you know, ahead. You see a sign that will tell you that, okay, there's a zebra crossing, so you need to slow down. You have the road markings that show you the speed limit. All these things are there.
Yeah.
If you are going to apply for a driver's license, you go through the training, there's a manual that you need to, you know, be run through, and you understand the communication in driving before you are tested and issued with a driver's license to show that indeed you are fit to drive on our roads. So the law is there, the regulation is there. But when you look at the stories we've seen so far, read and heard, the driver that caused the accident is a minor. So probably he doesn't have a driver's license. So he has not gone through the training as to how to maneuver our roads. So that is one of the reasons. And again, I think that, you know, it has to also to do with useful exuberance. I've seen other videos of the guy driving at top speed. You know, we should know that there are certain cars, when you buy them and you bring them into Ghana, you will not have the luxury of using the car as, you know, you could have used it elsewhere.
Full capacity.
Yeah, because in our country, our roads are narrow. Our roads are full of surprise potholes and manholes and galamsey pits. You understand? So there are a lot of uncertainties on our roads that will not permit you to drive those speed vehicles, you know, as you want it. So those who want to test their cars, they normally do it late in the night. And even that, they do recce. And they put people at vantage points to show that, okay, the road is clear, so you guys can come. They do. People enjoy that kind of sports, but they do in the evening with caution. So the guy did not act in his right senses. And again, I think that the parents also didn't do well.
Right.
You know, I've advised that if there is a car in the house and you have a child who is like not 18, but like you said, 16, 15, it's not wrong to teach the child how to drive.
Yes.
Because there can be emergencies.
Right.
Imagine I'm the father, I am the driver in the house, and I am attacked by a sickness, sudden sickness, and I can't drive, and there's a car there, and my child who is 16 can drive. You know, in that context, it's for a greater good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's good you teach them how to drive, but always make sure that they drive under supervision. Under supervision. So it was unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was too bad. So we need to be careful. You see, the person who manufactured the vehicle can be killed by the same vehicle. How much more you who just went to buy it and are driving it? We need to know that it's something like it's something car. So anytime I sit in my car, anytime in a car, I am not okay until I get to my destination and get out of the car, because anything can happen. Road safety is a shared responsibility, and there's something we call safe driving. You know, we always have to make sure that we drive with the idea of safety first. Sometimes you be on the road and you realize that a car that is below yours in terms of capacity is moving at a faster pace. If you don't take care, you think that, oh, Charlie, let me show this guy that I get better car and I can drive. Meanwhile, when you were leaving your house, you did not tell anybody that you are going for a car racing.
Yes.
This is not Formula One. And even the driver you want to overtake is not aware that you are into a race with him.
Exactly.
I get in the point. So why should you, think of having that idea of a race with another driver? No, it's not like that. So we need to be defensive when it comes to driving. And again, I'm going to take it out of the context of what happened at East Legon. The DVLA is the authority that has been vested with the power to license cars and license drivers.
Right.
Okay. Elsewhere, there's a score system. So when Adjoa is giving a license, let's say you are rated 20. As you drive, you get into accidents. You offend the road regulations, then they will be deducting points from your 20. So you need to have at least, let's say, a minimum of 10 to qualify to be on the road. So the moment you drop from that, threshold, your license will be revoked
from you.
And again, they also have records of every driver.
Right.
But here, we don't have that system there. We don't have. I'm a driver, I've been driving for so many years. DVLA doesn't know the number of accidents I've had. They don't know the number of road traffic offenses I've committed. So how can they assess me well? So we need to really pay attention. Driving is a national security thing. Because a mistake of one driver can kill about 20 people. We've seen buses colliding, crashing, and people dying 40, 45. But if a surgeon makes a mistake, perhaps one person is going to die in the theater. But for the driver's mistake, multiple of people will perish or be maimed. So we need to really pay serious attention to road safety.
Well, now, even before I come to you, Risa, in development stories, you've also heard that, the police picked up the parents of this young man, including one other person, and then subsequently, they've given them some 50,000 Ghana cedi bill with 2 sureties. But we're still hoping to see the end of this particular issue. We've seen an apology as well. We'll get into the apology pretty shortly. But let me pick your thoughts on it as well, Risa. This particular one, it could have gone, should I say souther? Because this was a T-junction, a very, very busy stretch. What was your first reaction when you saw the videos?
I think just before I start, I just want to send my condolences to the family of the 2 girls who passed on. My condolences to them, the family. I watched it more than 3 times when I saw the video, and I couldn't fathom it. Like, I didn't understand the idea behind that speed, because it was very swift. And I didn't know the exact reaction I had, but I was just watching, staring at it, and I was just imagining what it's like. I was trying to be in the mind of the kid. Why that top speed over there, And I always say that mostly if you are driving, it's not just for you, but it's also for other road
The other
users.
person, yeah.
Because someone will be driving, doing everything right, and some random person will just come and
From
just,
nowhere.
you know, kill someone or cause certain things, you know. But when I watch it, I felt sad, you know. But I think driving is beyond the physique, or is beyond the ability to, you know, move forward or move backwards, or to be on the road or behind the wheels. I think there's a bit of maturity
A
with
lot
it.
of maturity.
Yes, because you need to make certain judgments. As you said, there's a lot of calculation that goes into it. And again, it's also communication, because you need to be very attentive, know when to stop, the road signs, you know, communicating things to you, what you need to do, you know, how swiftly you respond to certain actions. So I feel like what happened is so unfortunate for the guy's family, the pastor and the wife, is unfortunate. And again, 16 years old, I know it's not allowed for the minor to be driving. And also, according to the policies and rules in terms of the regulations, even minors are supposed to be taken to driving school. So parents are not really allowed to, you know, train children how to drive. They need to go to the driving school,
yeah.
because they believe that the driving school takes you through a certain process and a certain knowledge that you acquire over there, as compared to an individual or, you know, family teaching you or taking you through it. So I think, again, it's okay that sometimes emergencies can happen in a house where, you know, they need to drive and everything, but I feel this thing is more of parenting. Because from some of the stories that came out, he's been allowed to, you know, drive.
Something he does.
You know, within the neighborhood, to go to the gym and everything. And even earlier that day when the incident happened, they had an event that they were there. You know, so I feel is beyond that. It's also more of parenting. How do parents, you know, take care of their kids? You know, even though you could have all the luxuries, you could have everything at hand, how then do you control your children?
Yeah.
You know, in terms of making certain decisions, certain judgments, not just, you know, because you have it, that doesn't mean you should just do it. You know, so I feel, aside the whole regulations and everything, I feel parenting is really important and it's key when it, like, looking at the story. And again, it's unfortunate. And I don't know
Very unfortunate.
it's like the parents themselves they don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Because they know they're at fault. At least that's good, because they've acknowledged their mistake and what has happened. But just that it has affected other parents.
Yeah.
And that's really sad. But I think it's something most families should really take upon themselves as lessons, not to entertain this kind of actions in terms of the minors they have in the house. You know, there are some 16 years old who looks like 20. They look like 25. That doesn't mean they should be behind the wheels.
Yeah.
Because again, it's illegal, you know. And I always say, if you're on the road, it's not just about you. It's about everyone on the road. The one in front of you, the one behind you, the one by your sides, they are all involved. So yeah, I think I'll end it.
Andrews.
Well, when I saw this, my initial reaction was, I read it actually, so it's one thing to read and it's one thing to actually see a video. So I read about it, I shared my sentiments, but it wasn't as though when I saw the video. I was very disheartened when I saw the actual happening. And I think context is very important in every situation.
Yeah.
So if we are talking about this minor, it's believed that they were at an event and he came out with the car. So if he is driving like this, you don't put it past him that he might be driving under the influence of alcohol or something like that. So I feel if he's able to do this, then maybe there's more to this story, of which we would know if the investigations are done. But on the family of the bereaved, I think it goes either way too, because the pastor's family would feel undone because the father is everywhere trying to plead, and also the family of the deceased would also feel undone. So I think it all comes back to the parenting style. How do you raise up your kids? I know people sometimes think my dad is a pastor, so I have the luxury, I'm even covered spiritually and all that. I think pastors, most of the times, they don't really pay keen attention to how their children are being raised. And I don't blame them. I think the nature of their work doesn't really give them the opportunity to. So that's where the mothers also must come in, because if the mothers are mostly at work with the kids, whilst the pastors are having maybe all night and programs like that. I think the mothers should rather be doing more of the parenting and helping the children to be raised well. Because right now he's caused damage not just to this particular family, but then the future husbands, the future wives, all the unborn generations have been affected by just his carelessness. So I think whatever happens from here, he has to put it on his shoulders and then take the blame.
Now, earlier today, we spotted an apology video from the father of the minor that is suspected to have caused this particular one. Let's take that video and then move back.
Samatomo Mama Efrimu me Salifu Amoako and me Kasai Mesrem amohume mabo na de asibia no awrade encheche more na di mesra busuafo no two side no se moncheche more awrade nhyemoden awrade mama hoden mesra Ghana fo nyina se omonso asofo ewo Ghana eni wiase nyina mompa abusuafo chew emame I can't explain myself. Mean to me explaining me home. As I'm not to me no. Bedwina ho ansisi so. Masua ma meni ahode a mede be so biom. Enti mesre busuafo nyina. I'm begging the family, the entire family. Say monchiche more. Erade mama hoden. Erade ensustain mu. Erade mama that courage. Into mesre na masha busuafo den nkwala na maame nkwala.
Well, I don't even know what to say, to be very honest.
Yes, there's another video of Prophet Elisha Salifu Amoako preaching, I think was outside Ghana, and was saying that he drives without driver's license and no police can do anything, and you know. So sometimes when issues of this nature happen, people will go back to what you've said before, what you've done before, and they will drive. Yes,
people did, yeah, we saw videos.
Yes, so a lot of people think that this apology is just something to crock the jaw, but you know, it's okay, it's okay. But my concern again was about the reaction of the onlookers when the accident happened. I think it's something we need to also educate people.
Yeah.
Now, people are so much in a hurry to be the first to record and share, to be the person to have the video. So instead of people going to the rescue of those victims, they rather want to take videos. I've seen people running and people took their phones. I told them that I'm going to hit your phone into the water. You know, so we need to be human. Let's save the life rather than saving the video, saving the image. You understand?
Yeah.
So if people had rushed to rescue them on time, I'm sure probably the two young girls wouldn't have gone.
But you know, interestingly, with this particular one, there were quite a number of people that rushed to the site because in the Acura, there were about 5 people in there.
Yes.
The driver was able to get out, and then one person on the passenger side, according to sources, she was also able to run through where the thing happened. But there was one of the girls at the back. And according to some of the things that I heard as well, there was one person that he did his best to go in there and save the girl from there. So there were efforts, but unfortunately, the other 2 that were there, I'm sure there was an issue of not being able to pull them out. And that is how come this entire thing happened. So with this one, I understand what you're saying, but I think we should also commend the few people that were around that actually went to the site to try their very best. Because also they were saying that, you know, the stopping of the fire started with people actually bringing water out of their houses to do that. Because there was a bit of a late response from the fire service. So it was people around that had to now start from the house. They were bringing extinguishers and all of those. But definitely, this fire was one that was...
And it also comes to the issue of fire hydrants.
This particular one, if we start this particular topic, you know, how people have to use extinguishers in case of emergencies and all that. I'm sure people have it in
my car
cars.
got burnt. I didn't have an extinguisher in my car. Yes, I didn't have it. And about 4 cars came around. None of them had. The car that came and had the extinguisher. Unfortunately, all of us around couldn't use it.
So, this is it's a very big topic.